Hello and welcome back. Welcome to Edukemy's YouTube channel. My name is Harsh and in this video we shall discuss the Facebook algorithm controversy. Welcome to all the participants. Hi Kriti, Netra, Hima, welcome to all of you. Sam, Ashish, Kim, Vivek, all of you, welcome back. Let's begin this. Now, Facebook has been in controversy lately, not only in India but abroad as well. Be it America, Vietnam, Myanmar, clashes in Ethiopia, many other countries, and Facebook has been in controversy. That means if there is a smoke somewhere, there must be a fire lit. So, how is Facebook in controversy, and what are the issues related to its algorithm? Let us understand this. Now, this was a couple of years back when this lady, an employee of Facebook, she blew some whistle around Facebook. She says that Facebook's algorithm are designed in a way that they promote hate crimes, they promote violence, they promote something against public safety, against democracy, against child rights. These are major accusations against Facebook, and she has been able to prove this with the help of the kind of content that she has shown in the media. The researches have happened later on to prove certain ways in which Facebook algorithm works. This is not just about Facebook, this is also about how generally the social media content and social media platforms work. So let us understand their working to understand little more details. Ever scrolled Facebook? Of course, we people all have scrolled it, scrolling our content, liking some content and commenting somewhere else, spending some specific time at some places. Is that not true? We do that on Instagram, we do that on Facebook, we do this at many other places. YouTube is one, Shorts, etc., what not. And this is where the organizers, the creators of the complete entity, apps, websites, they start taking in data from us, right? And a simple example of how the platforms would work previously would be through what has been put online recently. I remember I had a Facebook account created back in 2009, and I remember in the first few 3-4 years I would see the most recent content updated to me myself, and I would be happy seeing content from all those people also who are not very good friends, right? But then getting updates, all right, interested enough, fine. But then slowly and steadily I started seeing ads on Facebook. Slowly and steadily I started seeing lesser visibility of those people who I did not know much, but more visibility of those people in whose profile I would go more. How was this possible? This is all Facebook algorithm. Facebook changed its complete algorithm to showing from what was the recent content to the content based on my activity, to the content which is based on what is popular on Facebook. It started showing that content which was popular on Facebook on the basis of likes, on the basis of comments, on the basis of shares. That's what I keep asking you to do with our content as well, because that is how Facebook algorithm is designed, right? So the people who I would not look up to or look at much, they were completely away from my Facebook wall. And what content was usually promoted on Facebook, or what content I was liking all the time or I was commenting at, that was showing up more often to me. So this is what is called as an algorithm. An algorithm for an online social media will determine what will be visible to me, what will be visible on social media content at all, and what time will it be visible to me. Imagine, all the algorithms control what we are doing right now. How much times we are spending on what content is also not determined by what we do, but also by the online based artificially intelligent algorithm. Not that Facebook is against me, not that Twitter is saying that I must look at some content, but this is based largely on what I demand from these entities. Also based on some content that they want to pass on, which is popular in media. And what is popular in media? Sensational content. What is popular in media? The content where there are more controversies getting generated, more comments being put down, and that's what is more in media. What has been more in media in India lately? We all know hatred, communal violences, right? Issues related to sensitive content, for example, pornography, soft porn, all this content is indirectly getting promoted by Facebook. This is against people's rights by themselves. People need to choose what they must promote, and Facebook never spoke of what algorithm it had, right? It is Facebook's determinant of what is being shown to the people. Who is at power? Is it people or is it Facebook? It is Facebook. Not only, and I'm bringing to light not just Facebook here. Facebook is only the scapegoat here. There are many other entities, Instagram also owned by Facebook, absolutely. But then what about YouTube? All of them would promote only those shorts. What's YouTube shorts of one kind? What's of Khan sir? And you would see the second, every third recommendation would be of Mr. Khan, right? Khan sir from Patna. So similarly, the point is that we are not in control of our social media. It is Facebook. The complete algorithm has changed. And there are many times when hate crimes, violence is something that is promoted online as well. And we will speak a little in details about how this gets promoted. But then the software, the artificially intelligent software does not know the morality or the ethics behind it. All they know is one thing, engagement. If they engage the audience more, if they engage the user more into their content, they will be stuck in that platform. And if they are stuck in that platform, Facebook can start creating revenues out of it. How does that happen? Facebook will create ads. See, the platform of Facebook is available to me free of cost. The platform of Instagram is also available free of cost. The platform of YouTube is also available free of cost. Having said that, I'm a consumer. Having said that, there are people who want to promote their product and Facebook charges money from them. Facebook charges money for putting ads at the corners, and so does YouTube. And when they do that, this is how they earn. The more I spend time with you online, this is hard reality, simple reality. If I waste your time, you shouldn't be online. You shouldn't be watching this. But if I'm utilizing your time, Facebook likes it. Because Facebook sees a potential revenue earner here. Facebook says, I will give you also money. If you, I remember some people, some of my friends watching vlog creators, video logs on YouTube. And there's one very popular one called as Flying Beast. So he declares all his revenues, what he earns, how he earns and everything. He's been a pilot, but then he's been doing this work as well. And now he's switched full time to this. So for every million views, for every 1 million views on videos, you know what he gets? He gets 70,000 rupees from YouTube. 70,000 rupees. Imagine this. And this is devoid of ads. It is only based on the views. If he puts ads on his content in the same video, he would receive furthermore on the basis of what is the duration of the ad and how many ads are placed in that video. Imagine this. So YouTube is paying this person who is creating the content. Consumer of the content is regular audience. They are liking the content, and along with that, they are also consuming some ads. So Facebook mere wants, or YouTube mere wants engagement. And on the basis of comments, likes, and more shares, they will start promoting the content. So there are many websites, many Facebook pages which have got millions of subscribers, but then their content is not promoted. Why is it so? It is so because of the Facebook's algorithm. If fewer people comment there, if fewer people share there, then Facebook will not promote it automatically. However, if they promote certain content, right, you would yourself see a lot of content created by simplest example, our Khan sir only. He creates a lot of intellectual content also, but the content that he creates on Pakistan related things or China related things, and then you see how it becomes viral. So content becomes viral purely on the basis of what has been created and how people are responding to it. Who is at fault? Is it the Facebook algorithm, or is it the people or consumer who are consuming that content? This is a typical dichotomy, right? Who is to be held accountable? Is it the algorithm or is it the people? Because it is eventually we who are promoting the content. And one thing more, even if we do not like that particular initiative, that particular video or photograph, even if we do not write a comment there, and even if it comes on our list, but we spend time watching it, do you think Facebook doesn't know that? Facebook would know that as well. YouTube would know that as well, because they keep noting how much time has been spent in that video, and who has spent that much time, from what URL have you, from what IP have you generated that kind of content or consume that content, and they'll keep promoting that content to that place. It is not one person doing it. This is the complete algorithm, and this is a model for revenue generation, engagement. And Facebook earns through this. The consumer is the one who is investing their time, and they know new ways of engagement and new ways of marketing and receiving the marketing products. And on the other hand, the people who are creating the product, if they are doing well, they also receive the advantages. So So somehow it was found, how does this impact a normal individual? A research was conducted to understand the impacts. So let me share with you. If I create a neutral profile, so Facebook is not at fault. It is we who are consuming the content we want, and Facebook is only promoting it. That's what is one side of it. But look at the other side. Let's create a neutral profile which has not served any content in the Indian subcontinent, and let us start seeing what are the kind of content that Facebook promotes to us, right? And this research has actually happened, and this is true, that after a couple of weeks we are not doing anything, we are just looking at what kind of content Facebook is promoting, and Facebook seems to promote that content in India, something that is against Pakistan, something that is of communal nature, something in which people are abusing each other, something that is about rape, murder, dacoity, something that relates to crime. Facebook has been promoting sensational content, right? So, and this research was actually conducted in the subcontinent to find a thing like this, where a dummy user was created and content was seen, what is being recommended. Facebook has been recommending that content. Not that individuals are doing this, but they are promoting content which is overall getting sensationalized. This is what was highlighted by the ex-Facebook employee, that hate crimes, violence against children, against public safety, democracy is what being promoted at Facebook. So Facebook promotes content on the basis of interest of the person now, on the basis of what has been posted, who has been the creator, what are they interested in, what is the type of content that is there, and what has been the recency. Earlier, it was only based on recent feeds. I remember that time. But then now, interest of the user, interest of the audience. So every time when I open my YouTube account and you open your YouTube account, the feeds will be completely different. It will be user based. It has got its pros and it has got its cons as well. There are a lot of cons. For example, when the content is getting generated according to my desires only, what I think is correct, there could be a bubble. There could be a bubble in my thought process. There could be a complete social media bubble thinking that what is social media about is what I'm thinking. For example, if I remember having watched some videos on chases, police chases in USA. 1 minute and the 30-minute videos as well. Helicopters which are telecasting the chases and how police is responding to it. And I remember only recommendations of the police chase videos were being recommended to me. So I might start thinking that this is what is being the most popular thing around, but that is not true. If my opinion about a community is XYZ, and I keep getting that kind of input, this is going to create a bubble thinking that this is the reality. This is the reality I will live in, but that is not the actual reality. That is only one side of the story. In fact, there is a huge argument of morality that possibly I also might change my stand later on. But the content that I am being fed all the time does not reflect a change in stance, right? Similarly, as and when I start to see only one kind of content, my mindset will get polarized, right? I will not be subjected to neutral media in which all the sides of the stories are covered. This is the reason that I keep saying to you people that every story has got multiple sides. We can't be arguing about. I do remember that debate on marriage age being raised to 21 or issues of death penalty. There are multiple sides of the same story, and we have to understand each of these sides, especially for UPSC aspirants and general citizens as well, right? So polarization happens, right? It also spreads extreme degree of thought process to the level that it generates negativity towards something that we do not like. We do not like is still fine, but it generates negativity. That is the extent of production of that kind of content, because it's there. It's been marked that this is the kind of content that people are watching and this person is also interested in, and hashtag similar kind of content will be put in our feeds as well, creating more controversy. And this is what has been happening. What has been Facebook doing in this? Facebook has been generating revenue, because more people indulging in this, more engagement. If that is more controversy, put a couple of ads around it. The people who are creating that content, they will also get money, and users are also getting to see the products, right? So this is a new kind of marketing. Marketing is also happening in Hotstar. While we see the IPL matches, Hotstar marketing is happening, right? 10 teams and people who are there to pay, they're paying, and we are watching those ads for 30 seconds or maybe 1 minute or 2.5 minutes in the breaks. Similarly, YouTube is generating the same, Facebook is generating the same, right? So this is how engagement and business gets created. Now, when allegations were put on Facebook, Facebook says, and these allegations were all compiled in the form of Facebook papers, all right? Just like Pandora papers and Panama papers, Facebook papers. So Facebook says that we have been allocating a huge amount of budget to scrutinize these inputs. But then the reality is that when Facebook scrutinizes all these kind of inputs, Facebook has been spending a huge amount only for USA, not for the whole world. Generating revenue in subcontinent, generating revenue in China, generating revenue in Africa, Latin America, and causing ruckus in Vietnam, causing ruckus in Myanmar, causing ruckus in India, and many other places, right? There has been a committee in the Delhi Legislative Assembly also investigating the possible misuse of Facebook and Facebook promoting the content of hatred and communal content. Yes, right? And if you know the name of that committee, please put it down in the comment section. So, the point is Facebook has been spending the budget, but mostly in America. 80% plus of its budget spent on this kind of research and scrutiny spent in America. Then again comes the issue of language. Now Facebook is present in India in 20 languages, even more than that. But does Facebook scrutinize the content, or does it classify the content to what constitutes hate, to what constitutes the criminal offensive words? It does not. It does not. See, Hindi, Bengali, Tamil, these are the languages which are more spoken in our country. But then Facebook has only lately started to classify the content which are towards criminal intent, towards intimidating somebody, towards abusing somebody, only lately. But then it had released all this Facebook in local languages in the past. Should it not have released what content should be classified and what classification should be of concern or flag? Yes, it should be, but Facebook has only started this in 2011 for Hindi and Bengali. Imagine this. But Facebook is present in multiple languages. So people can still promote abuses, can still promote some things in the local language which are uncalled for on Facebook, and that has been happening. So who is to be held accountable? Facebook is still generating revenue now, right? Facebook is to be held accountable here. Workforce. Facebook says that we introduced a lot of workforce so that people could individually, flag the content in local languages. But then there have been other allegations on the workforce. For example, when we have initiated subjectivity through workforce, then people will be biased towards promoting something and not promoting something. If I am the workforce there and I am flagging the content, I might flag some kind of content, might not flag some kind of content. It has come in public light that Facebook has in reality not flagged some sensational content related to some political group and flagged some content which is related to another political group. So having a biased mindset is another issue. Yeah, right. So many issues with social media. So overall, Facebook is also called for safety concerns, sensitivity, right, at its office, fearing that they might receive some threats from some groups in case they flag their content. On the other hand, if you feel that Facebook is a victim, on the other hand, I would like to say it is also a supporter to perpetrator. How? Because Facebook is also putting ads, it is generating revenues, it is generating increased engagements. This is the situation of conflict where we have wanted social media, an algorithm in which what we like gets promoted. On the other hand, it gives us biased content. We are not ready for the opposite point of view. So it creates human beings in a bubbled atmosphere, right? Generates negativity or contempt for others' opinion. That is the level in which the algorithms setup go. So Facebook office operating absolutely, but then still increases subjectivity against people. Another issue here is, this is generally about social media. Social media has these filters and all filters, and we just want to look into the filter and clear the image, and this has generated a lot of inferiority complex in many of us. I myself feel I don't look good at all, right? I might be decent looking, but I feel that it's because of such refined and such beautifully carved images that artificial intelligence draws. It is all based on likes, comments, and shares. You share that more, you create a beautiful profile a little better than the others, and then you see what kind of morality issues with everybody have. People would have, existential crisis. I have gone through this myself, and then came out of it with nirvana. Everything is well, all is well. That was the content that I felt about myself. Right now, getting back to this beautifully created article, let me show some very beautiful points. See, the algorithm does not only contain bad points, there's something good about it as well, right? The algorithm does provide us many ways in which we do not get the rudimentary content. What we seek, we get. If I seek technology, I'll get technology, but then we are solely dependent on it. That is the question. But if opinions are dependent on it, that is the question. So let us quickly understand what it is about. The parliament, now this ruckus is not only in USA, not only that Mark Zuckerberg has been called in American parliament and held accountable. Facebook officers have also been summoned in India, right? Thank you, Peace and Harmony Committee in the Delhi Assembly, right? They've been called in Delhi as well. So Parliamentary Standing Committee on Information and Technology has recently questioned Facebook officials over allegations that their algorithm used for advertising platform unfairly promotes one political party in the country. Okay, so it's not just political party, it's way beyond this. It's how we think. Complete question of morality, complete question of governance, complete question of how economy works and what we want, society. So reflecting all the 4 papers, start looking at how you can utilize this at all the ends, right? So not only the news, we understood how Facebook chooses its algorithm based on 2 types of algorithmic ways in which content is generated unique to every user. Earlier it was recent feeds, and now it is based on what the social media is promoting and what I want on the basis of my previous experience with the social media. So algorithm, automated instruction for doing something depending on the user's choices. The major issues: unfair advantage to some, language experts not being installed, right? So flagged content in the local languages not being issued, classification of what is not to be used on social media and to be flagged. Even if used, then biased people, lack of language experts, manipulating the opinion of the people, indirectly manipulating only now. So what should be the way in which then the algorithm should work? It is biased. Algorithm could be used in the wrong context. Yes, right. So for example, let me just give you a simple example. If I mention I'm going for a shoot, or if I just say I need to shoot something today, does it mean I need to shoot somebody, or does it mean I need to shoot a video so that I could release it on YouTube for students? Facebook wouldn't know this. The content which is generated in local languages have far more wider interpretation. So the context of what has been spoken may not be reflected as optimally as it has been spoken of, right? So when an individual can generate interpretations and they can understand better, the machine cannot do that. So this is where the ethical dilemma of how a machine works and how it cannot replace how human thinks also is significant. So algorithms can be used in the wrong context, designing flaws, generalization of everything, right? Making things oversimplified, right? For example, if I like a content, it means I should be just given this kind of content all the time, oversimplification. Whereas human mind is so diverse that we have been able to explore the least out of it, and algorithms telling us what we should be doing in our free time. So are we governed by our choices, or are we governed by indirectly what choices Facebook gives us? Imagine this. Here we've explained how the Facebook sorts our own world. How much is our screen time and how do we sort our own world? Very interesting. You must read this feature news completely. Personalized feeds are there. So how is it good for us? We get personalized feeds, better monitoring of data, better classification of the data. All this thing can be some better points, right? So how can this technology be put to better use? Regulation? Yes, indeed. See, Facebook must come clear. YouTube must come clear of what are its revenue generation policies, how it is using the people online and how it is using the content online to promote its own products, that is the ads. And it must come very clear on the algorithm strategies which are being adopted, and what are the shortcomings, because those shortcomings need to be worked. These social media companies have become one of the most powerful entities in the world. Imagine Facebook's owner, imagine Amazon's owner, imagine Google's owner. All of these people are amongst the richest of the persons in the whole world. These are not product creators, these are social media company owners, and just in the last 10 years. So they are far more powerful right now than the democratic heads, and we are getting completely manipulated, leaving apart the tax norms, leaving apart how they are elected, but what about the algorithms? They are accountable for this, and leaving apart the metaverse, the concept of metaverse, which will be completely augmented reality, away from what humans actually are intend to be. So what is required is Facebook coming clear on its strategies and fulfilling these gaps and loopholes, because they generate a lot of revenue. For every ad that is placed on Facebook, I have one relative, they would say it is like 50,000, 70,000 rupees for one ad to be placed for some time. Just screening it, not a video, just screening the ad on the scrolls. Imagine this. So more research and designing, research development, regulations by the governments, improving compliances. This is required throughout the whole world. The whole world is at a place, at a juncture where we would see what direction these legislations go, and each of them would emulate what is to be done, each of the countries, making more understandable and making the whole process more transparent, right? So if a question is asked, critically analyze the algorithm-based content role in the political setup, I think you would be able to fairly do this, right? The algorithm-based setup, explain what is the meaning of an algorithm, how it works, how it was working, what has been the change, what is the revenue model, and what are the pros of it, what are the cons of it. There are more cons right now, but then there has to be some moderation. Middle path, Buddha's path, is the way out, right? On that note, let me read out the questions, and if you like this initiative, share some love through likes, comments, and shares. They become very valuable because we provide some good content, and there needs to be some promotion for this, right? So promotion through what? Liking, comment, and shares. Because if that is done, if that's done, you would see that this content gets promoted and this video gets promoted. That's how it happens. I would give you the example. Simple example is that of explaining the Russian crisis. The day I explained that crisis, that video got a lot of promotion as compared to the video in which I was explaining Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. People not interested in understanding that, right? People not interested in cold crisis in the country, but more keen to understand the profile of Mr. Putin, right? So let's see. And there's one thing more. See, the percentage of video viewed, these are minor details, but then YouTube records this, and that's how it promotes the content. So the percentage of video viewed, for example, if a video is viewed for say 25 or 30%, 25 to 30%, if it is viewed, this is excellent. The person needs to just keep doing this again and again, to be able to, and this is how YouTube will start promoting this content. Because if a video is of say 10-minute length and the person is viewing 25 to 30% of it, that is 2 to 3 minutes, YouTube will quickly recognize that this is a very good content. It will automatically start promoting, and it promotes the offline videos more in this way. And another way of promoting is the comments, if one receives more comments. So look at this model. Look at this model that we have started to think. That is that I have the offline version of the editorial discussion. They are far more better than the online version that you people have yourself seen. Very good slides and good presentation, and then a question at the end. And at the end, nudging you to reply to that question. Who does it help? It helps you people in answering the questions. Yes, it does. Does it help us? It helps Edukemy, because that's how YouTube will start knowing that there's more engagement in the content. So they'll start promoting. So this is one model in which things work. Live comments do not work as the offline comments work, right? So there are some ways in which, see, Google White Pages has explained how YouTube works. Similarly, Facebook also needs to be explaining a lot, and that is how people need to learn and to grow, right? So YouTube is a platform for Edukemy to market its content, right? And marketing will work once people are liking the content, sharing the content, subscribing to the channel, That's how it is. All right. So I've explained to you everything in a transparent manner, and whatever the realities are. Okay. If you like this initiative, that will be great for our promotion. Now you people would definitely do that because you know how it works. It is a mutual growth. All right. Let's look at the questions. Vivek asks about note making. Somebody please respond. Vivek, note making is going to help a lot. You have great potential. I've seen that in your answers. But then this consistency is required here. Okay. Yes, Vivek also says it strengthens the confirmation bias of a person due to bubble. See, in case a person is doubtful about a thing, but still they keep scrolling on the same kind of video, the doubt also converts into a reality, thinking, yes, my perspective was correct. So nobody is showing them the opposite content, showing them what is their own understanding, right? So that's the update. And all the people who are putting in efforts to join and watch the videos, little bit of extra effort to create notes, and that will be your algorithm for success. So do remember that, and all the best for your preparation. I will see you tomorrow evening for the current affairs video, and there are 2 videos released on the editorials. Please do watch them and respond to both of them, not just because YouTube will promote them, but also because it will be a great practice for you. The 2 of them are on one is on they both will get released. One of them has already gotten released, so ensure that you watch them and answer the questions. All right. So Netra, Kriti, Kim, Ashish, all of you, good night. Yes, there was a news, Kriti. Children videos had adult words. Absolutely. Kanupriya, good night. Good night, all of you, all the participants. I will see you all tomorrow evening for current affairs discussions. Thank you. If there are questions, please put them down in the comment section. We will get back to you. Thank you and good night, all of you. Hima.